Well, my name is Claudio Gutierrez-Soto. I am research of at the Universidad de Bio Chile. Um, may apologies in advance because I had some trouble with my YouTube account. So it's probably that this video will be in part in my channel YouTube. So what is the name of my presentation? It's a new and efficient algorithms to look for period patterns on spatio-temporal database. The agenda completes introduction, motivation, all contribution, empirical results, conclusion, and future works. Okay, big data is a term, okay, generic term that is very useful today because a lot of the people speak about the big data. However, big data is not a recent term because it's like 19 something for that. It appeared as a term, okay? But big data involves storing and processing of the large amount of data, okay? We can find a lot of the data, for example, an Internet of Things, Industry 4.0, smart city, and so on. There is a lot of the technologies that use sensors. That implies that we can find a lot of the hundred of gigabytes in short period of time. Okay, that's type of the application that can produce a lot of the data is a geographic information system. Okay, and you can say, for example, a particular instance of the geographic information system, named Spatio-Temporal database. The size of that data, along with the need to update, insert, and so on, require efficient management of the databases. Okay. When you want to apply some technical data mining, with the purpose to look for patterns, for example, in that particular database, is not so direct. Okay, because there is an attribute which add extra complexity. That attribute is the temporal. Okay. Well, we are concerned in a sequential pattern. The start of the pattern is a frequent sequence, which is inside a single sequence or sequence of the time. If you want to look for that type of the pattern, we can classify the tool or the technique in three. Okay, we have mathematical technique, machine learning algorithms, and association rule algorithms. In mathematical technique, we have Fourier transform and autocorrection techniques, but there is a little problem because it's difficult to determine what is the beginning and the end of every period. It should be noted that techniques are applied on temporal database. On the other hand, most of the machine learning algorithms use a step of the training and tuning over data. So if you want, for example, if you want to do an update of your database, you need to train again. Okay, that's implying extra time. And finally, we have algorithm based on association rules. That is very interesting because if you are not looking for a correlation between data, it's possible to use that type of the algorithms because there is not a perfect occurrence of the pattern in the sequence. Well, if you want to choose what is the more efficient algorithms or technique with respect to the dimension, we have the algorithm based on association rules. Okay, but the problem with that type of the algorithms is we need to check the power set. Okay, we need to check the power set because we can find all possible patterns. Okay, that means when you have a n enough large, is the time is huge. Okay, to map that type of the problem in the spatio-temporal context means you need to consider the event and how the event is happen in the space. Okay, for example, in the equation 1 we can see the formula to for calculate what is the number of the combination. We need to represent, for example, 3 events. Okay, when we are looking for a pattern of the period period 3, considering a segment of the 5. Okay, that's the main idea, to transform that type of the problem. That type of the problem is considering the spatio-temporal database to take and pick up and obtain the equation 2. Okay, that's the mapping from 1 and 2. In 2 we have a sequence that is we can see of the sequence. Okay, in the chat. Well, what are our contribution? First of all, we have an efficient algorithm called minus if1. Minus if1 has a polynomial behavior. Okay, that means that algorithm is predictable and scalable for large database. We obtain the time complexity for a priori, maximum pattern, and PPA. Okay, in the spatio-temporal context, and we carry out a lot of the experiment. Minus if1 is very simple. We use 2 counters. Okay,